It's bright red with a black convertible top. A 1968 Pontiac GTO owned by Karen Henning of Bethlehem, Connecticut. It's not her first goat, though. She had one years ago when in high school.
It was a 1969 GTO that my mother gave to me on my 16th birthday. It was my mother's car. She had it for about 2 years, and when I turned 16, she gave it to me. It was the first car that I had, and I drove it back and forth to high school, and I kept it for about 5 or 6 years, and then when I graduated out of high school and got my first job, they gave me a company car, so I sold the car.
But Henning never forgot that first GTO.
I've been looking for another GTO ever since, and then I found this one.
That was in the fall of 2017, and she didn't have to look far. She found it
in my neighbor's yard. My neighbor had the car in storage for about 30 years. He also drove his GTO during high school out of Woodbury, and he had been restoring it for over 30 years. He had it in his mother's garage, and then he moved it to a portable tent at our neighbor's house right next door. So when we purchased our house, we noticed he had a GTO in his tent that was fully in pieces that he had been doing a restoration on.
It did take patience to consummate a deal.
I had been poking him for 7 years that if he ever wanted to sell it, to let me know first. And then his father passed away, and he ended up moving up to Maine to live with his mother and couldn't take the car with him, so he came over and gave me first option to take the car. It was in really bad shape. I mean, the panels were in pretty good shape, but the interior, the convertible top, the engine was out, the transmission was out, so all the mechanical parts were in pieces. The body looked pretty rusted, but it wasn't rust through on the panels. So the panels on the car are all original, the hood's original. It was really just, the old convertible tops, tend to deteriorate. The interior was all deteriorated.
And it took more patience waiting for the GTO to be restored, but it looks marvelous now. What appeals most to Henning is its power.
With this one being a standard, when you kick it into second gear, it just throws you right back in the seat and it takes off. It kicks and it takes off. And that's what my old car used to do, my old GTO. I hate to say it, but we used to race them up at the Oxford airport years ago, and she'd be slow starting, but once it kicked in, you'd take off. It's a nice car.
The GTO has a 400 cubic inch V8 engine. There are bucket seats with floor shifter inside and memorable styling outside, all of which resulted in the GTO being named Motor Trend Magazine's Car of the Year for 1968.
I don't know, I love the car. We don't get to drive it as much as we'd like because I don't want to take it on the highway or take it too far. So we just started taking it to car shows over the last year. We felt comfortable bringing it to car shows.
The GTO does do more than simply bring back memories.
It's a numbers matching car, so it's also an investment as well as something that I enjoy.
That's Ride Connecticut. I'm Bud Wilkinson, and if you have a moment, please subscribe to Ride Connecticut's YouTube channel.